got wire hanging around, so I curled some wire up and made them so that they could hang, or you could do about anything with them. But
on the tape.
There we go. All right. Oops. So this one was Spectra wood. This one I think was some kind of bamboo or something. It was a weird splintery thing. Black palm. Yeah, it was a palm that it is weird. And then this looks like it was just a piece of spalted maple or something. So anyway, fun little idea. I don't know. I'm going to give these to Mike, but I don't know what he's going to do with them, if you give them to KCKPDs or not. I don't know that baton is the proper thing to put on a Christmas tree, but yeah. So next.
Well, as you can see, I just took a pen blank and took away everything that wasn't a baton. And then I had a piece of one of those light pole kits, which I put on the front end with the leather and on the back end to make it look pretty. So no, it doesn't. It just sits there. Now, the next thing is what to do with it. I was very pleased with what I did. Thank you.
Mine was also made from pen blank, baton. And this was Macacaba. And for the distances, I was trying to make it accurate from the pictures I found on the website. But as Chris pointed out the night I made this, the raised parts are a little bit high.
So you guys will be shocked, but I also use pen blanks to. Oh, can you hear me? Hello.
The theory.
Woo! So I also used pen blanks for mine. This is a little. These two are Spectra ply. These are just some black walnut. Honestly, I think some of them came from just guild scraps, but I went a little bit more, just kind of freeform on my designs. But it kind of got me thinking. You know, besides just like batons, I mean, these could also be baseball bats. This guy that I totally didn't mess up and had to make thinner. I mean, this could be a little either magic wand or it could be, you know, if you have musician friends. Let's see. So, and then these are just little keychain clips that I got off Amazon. I think it was like a pack of, oh God, I don't know how many for like $6, and you can make hundreds of these. So my other thought was, I mean, you know, it's baseball season, you know, people might like baseball bat little keychains, you know, so I don't know, I might make a few to see about First Fridays and just donate them to the guild or something. So we'll see. So.
Did you change the? No. I was thinking about it, but no, I actually I do occasionally turn some things by hand. So, but however, this is actually from. I happen to have a couple of the scrap pieces of maple from the full size baton, so I cut off a chunk and put scrap on it. So this is actual from the maple from the batons we give to the police. So really not much to say about it. It was fun to do. I actually screwed up by this is my second one I made. I forgot to put one of the beads on, like the normal. I haven't have the plan, so I compared it. Oh, and I swore a little bit, and then I started over again with another one. So it's finished with tongue oil, and it was a fun little project.
Mine's a bit of a chunky boy, but it was just scrap wood from in there, and I turned it real fast. So I like it. It fits in your hand.
Here's my two little wands. One's made out of mahogany. The other one is made out of oak. I didn't like how the oak turned, so I did mahogany. It was fun. And I thought I'd take a chance at catching up. I wasn't here last month, so I made a 3-corner bowl. My first attempt. I'm still working on the bottom of it. I learned a lot from it, very much. And this, what'd you say? It's a very small foot. It does balance. Look at that. And I could, it even could hold things. Well, it did a few minutes. Well, maybe it can. You have to balance the things on the inside. And this, I went home and I've been going, I'm so lucky this year. I've gone on 4 trips. And they all seem to be during the Woodturners meetings. But I made this the game that Chris had shown us how to do with the beads and the tops on the inside. And I forgot it that night. I was actually in town that night and I forgot it. And I thought, I need to catch up because I feel like, okay, so someone asked me last time, well, haven't you been doing anything, Terry? So I thought I'd bring this and show.
All right, here's my version. I tried to get the proportions as close as I could just by looking at a picture. I have no idea what kind of wood it is. It's a scrap pile. So, but it worked out perfect. It's pretty light, so I think it'd go on a Christmas tree. All right, without dragging down everything. But if you guys want it, if the police department will take them, I'll donate it for sure.
I think that's all of our challenge. So let me get the bowl there, Mike. If you could shake it and draw a number, because I also realize we need to do the dollar sweepstakes drawing too. Right there. Dan will do it. 568 if you just had a challenge piece. All right, so you get the 2 craft supply. Where did they go?
Craft supply.
There, the 2 craft supply and the sticker. Make sure she gets the sticker. We got to get rid of those stickers. No, just one. Yeah, we can't go too crazy. All right. And thank you all for that participated in that. Again, I think the challenge is just something that's fun to push yourself to do something different every month. So appreciate the participation. And so that we can get through the night, we need to do our dollar sweepstakes drawing. So Mike is shaking up the numbers now. See how we thinned out the crowd before we drew the numbers? That makes your chances that much better. Yeah. $995. Is that you? All right. Gary pulled his own number. Good job. So Gary, you got your pick there of any of those items. All right, he took himself a gooseneck light. Okay, that gets us to our, oh, I did want to mention that Don did bring in some nice elm blinks there. He's looking to see if anybody wants to purchase them, money going towards the club. If we don't get them purchased, I'll put them back in the shop and they'll be there. If anybody is interested, drop $30 into the bowl and take one. So, excuse me. Yeah, well, they'll dry out. We're hoping he I think sealed the end, so we're hoping that they'll stay uncracked for maybe until the next month. If not, we'll see what we can do out of the shop. So that gets us to our show and tell table. So if you did bring a show and tell item, please bring it up here and tell us about it.
So I have several things here, but they all kind of go together. I was just got down a rabbit hole on the internet looking for different projects to kind of push myself to do something different. And I ran into the emerging bowl situation. And so I thought I'd give it a try. So this was actually my first one out of the Spalton maple here. And I did it. If you haven't seen how lots of people do it, they make you have to basically turn a half a sphere as perfect as you can in order for it to turn out correctly. And most people just make a template and keep, as they turn, they keep, putting the template up against this. And I started thinking, well, why don't I make a jig to turn a sphere?
Put it on the X.
And, oh, sorry. Why don't I make a, jig to turn a sphere that could also do a half a sphere on this? And so I made my own jig, a sphere turning jig that pivots on an axis, so I could get a perfect half circle on this. And so once I made that, then I moved up to a bigger piece, and it made it a little bit easier to make that shape. Well, once I had the sphere turning jig, I had to make spheres. So this is my first attempt of ever making spheres, and it just made the process a little bit easier to kind of get it roughed out. You still have to put it between centers at some point and still work it down. So anyway, so I got to that point. A cool story with these pieces that have the epoxy in them. For those of you that went out to Don's place when he cut the ash wood out there last summer, I think it was, but almost a year ago, probably about now. You remember the ants that poured out of that, for those of you that were there? Well, this, where the epoxy is where the ants were living. So that was their home. I grabbed that chunk, ants and all, there were still ants in it when I got home. Let it dry for a year, and then I filled it with epoxy, and that's actually where those came from. So I thought that was kind of cool. Before Don left, I showed it to him. He got a kick out of that. And then the last kind of emerging bowl is just something a little bit different. Thought I'd try something just kind of coming straight up and out through. Yeah, they're all still there. Yeah. Yeah, this one is a knuckle buster. You want to be careful when you're turning stuff like that. Well, these are knuckle busters too, and they can go flying off the lathe pretty easily too when you're finishing the inside of them. But they're a lot of fun. If you haven't tried something like this, it's good to push yourself to try something a little bit different. So cool. I could, yeah. If you guys are interested, if you guys haven't done emerging bowls before. Okay, yeah, and I could bring in the sphere jig. So you can buy them for like $400, the metal ones. I made my own out of just scrap wood in my shop. I literally didn't even go to the hardware store. I bought everything. I had sheets of plywood and bolts, and I just scrounged up everything I could and made my own. And use like a reverse rate tool on it. And so you probably have a lot of the stuff sitting around. You could make one if you have some woodworking tools as well. So I don't like to buy things if I can make them. But yeah, so when you make these emerging bowls, this is basically what they look like when you start, except for they're a perfect sphere. Then you cut them in half in order to get you make two at the same time. Yeah, but when you just see one, it's pretty impressive. Like, how did you carve a bowl out of that chunk of wood, right? So my next challenge is going to be to try and carve an emerging hollow sphere. So and that's a whole nother process. So I think I know how I can do it, but so it'd be basically a sphere sticking out here, then you put a hole in it and, you know, hollow vessel. I have not. Oh, cup chuck, yeah, for the spheres. So actually how I made those for the spheres, the baseball bat cutoffs work perfect for those. And that's how I finish off the spheres, is those cups. And I just use the baseball bat blanks for that. I grabbed a couple more so I can have different sizes of them. So they work really well. Again, you don't have to go out and buy fancy stuff. Just use what you have. So cool. Thank you, guys.
Prize for sure. You win it tonight.
I'm the only one.
You're the only participant there. But very neat stuff. And seriously, if you could think about a future demo, I think that would be very interesting. Okay. Jim, I thought your demonstration was excellent. It opened up, I think, a lot of ideas in people's heads, and that's sparks in sparks creativity and stuff. So great job on the demo tonight, and it was very, very nicely done. Thank you all that stuck around for the whole time. I appreciate that. But we'll see you here again next month. Same bat channel, same bat time. And I guess if we can get some help getting the chairs up, that'd be helpful. But enjoy the rest of the month and keep turning. And remember, this Saturday, top turning event. So I'd love to see you there. Thank you, Sue.